This is the tour of my new house I've been promising to film and send my dad for ages. This is the main hallway with the front door. The front door is actually on the side of the house, which is a bit odd. We'll have a quick peek outside. You can sort of see where the garden goes. This is coming back through the front door. The main bedroom's off to the side here. Just a bedroom. I bought this oak furniture, a dresser and a chest of drawers, which was new. It's got my pictures up. I've still got some more pictures to put up on the walls, which are what those frames there are for. On the other side, I have what I call the computer wing. This is my room with all my junk and models and various bits and pieces in it. And the computer over there. There's the little 6502 computer I made, and the Turing bomb, Steed, various other bits and pieces. This room I haven't actually sorted out yet. I'm still tidying up in here. One of the first things I had to do was put the shelving up and then bolt it all to the walls, because in Wellington Wellington's prone to earthquakes, so everything has to be secured. Down along here, this was a bedroom, but I'm actually turning it into a little sitting room. I'm calling it the gentleman's lounge. So in here I'm going to get some comfy chairs, and eventually I'll put my TV and stereo and things like that in here. So it's a bit bright there at the window. I have all my books and things in here. The walls originally had sort of floral wallpaper, so I repainted over that red. That's a little oak tea trolley I got for $20. One of the handles was broken, so the lady gave it to me cheap, but that was easy to fix, dead easy. This is a sort of a fake fireplace I'm working on. This house doesn't have a fireplace, unfortunately. So this is a cast iron fire surround I bought quite cheaply, and I'm building a sort of wooden frame around it. I'll have nice timber on the top and the fronts. I'm just using pine on the sides because it's cheap. And what I'm actually going to do, because it doesn't have a real fireplace in it, is I'm building a mechanism with these. These are actually drawer slides. You can see they open up. These are going to go inside the fireplace. They'll go down inside the sides there, sort of right inside there. And there'll be a little platform on there that raises up under remote control, will come up out of here. And I'm actually going to have my television in there, so when I'm not using it, the television will go back down into the fireplace, sort of behind the fireplace. This, as I say, is all cast iron, so I just cleaned that up and painted it. It originally had tiles down the sides. Unfortunately, they were all broken, but I did manage to get a whole lot of these tiles for about 50 cents each, I think they were. And these will be put back inside there. The bottom will be tiled with the same sort of tiles in the kitchen, and the edge here I'm going to cover in copper. I have my old hot water cylinder from Auckland. I brought that with me, and I'm going to cut that up, use the English wheel to flatten it out, and then I'm going to make a copper surround all the way around here. You can see the lovely floral carpets I've got in the bedrooms in this house. So the main reason for that room is because it'll be much easier to keep a small room warm, I think, in winter. This is the main lounge and kitchen, and you can see it's all one room and it's quite big. So there's the main window, the TARDIS there. If you can see out of the window, you can see my neighbours are quite close. So unfortunately the garage there is mine. Unfortunately the driveway is shared. It's a bit hard to see. But I actually have 2 parking spaces in front of the house, sort of up around there on the outside the main bedroom and the gentleman's lounge. And those are my parking spaces, so I use those. But you can see the table there. The bathroom and laundry are through there. This is the kitchen here. Down here you can see a little electric heater I got that has a nice fake flame effect. So that's actually going to go in the base of the fireplace, just to sort of look like a fire. What else have I got? So this is my railway table, which is still totally unfinished. The railway's in there. This is a little project I've been working on at work in my lunch times. Work with throwing out a whole lot of old computer parts, so I grabbed all the DVD burners and ripped the mechanisms out of them and turned them into a little laser engraver, laser cutter. So that's what this thing is. This black thing here is the laser. I actually ended up buying a laser from China. It's a 500 milliwatt blue laser. And basically what this thing does, this is just a little test one. It's very small. But you can see, I started up here. It's basically used, it's the laser there, it's very bright. So what that's doing at the moment is it's actually engraving the paper there, the laser's engraving it. Although that one's not doing very well at the moment because the focus is out. But what my plan is to use it to cut. I'm going to build a bigger machine and use it to cut paper gaskets that I use in my old cars. So I've been doing some experiments with cutting gasket paper with the laser, and that works quite well. You can also cut foam. So this is some 6mm foam, and you can see that laser just cuts straight through it. So if I need to make small foam gaskets and things like that, I can do that. As I say, this is only a little machine. This is only basically this is only got a travel of about 36mm. So I've actually bought some more parts, and I'm going to build a much bigger machine that I can cut probably an A4 sheet out of. So we'll try that again. You have to have the piece the right distance away from the laser so the laser is focused, and then it sort of engraves the pattern on it. You can't control the power of the laser, but you can you vary the speed, and so the slower it goes, the thicker thing it'll cut. So this isn't a new idea. People have done this before quite a number of times. You can actually buy little machines like this as well, but I wanted to build my own so I could learn how it works. I always find the best way to understand something is to build it yourself from scratch, and if you can do that, then you know how something works. These days it seems most people just look things up online and just copy what other people have done, but I get ideas from other things, but usually I just do stuff myself. So you can sort of see there, it's cut the logo, engraved it on the paper. In fact, it's almost gone all the way through, so I could probably do it faster than that and just have it engraving. That's the little laser. Out here, you can see the you can see the garden sort of extends right around the back of the house there. Out through here, there's a little entranceway, and then you go down here into the garage. So this is my garage. Again, I had to bolt all the shelving to the walls there so that in an earthquake nothing falls down, and I try to put all the heavy things at the bottom. So this is really a sort of 2.5 car garage. It's a good thing I've got little cars, so the MG's in here. Riley behind that, and then the Austin Special there. I built that rack up against the wall there, which I store flat sheets of aluminium and various other pieces on. All sorts of car parts there. My welding gear. My tree stump with a shot bag on it. There's a big long workbench all the way along there, so I've got the drill, all my tools. Over here, I call this the engine assembly area. So I've got my Austin 7 engine sitting there, ready to be assembled. It needs a bit of work. I had some machining and stuff done on it in Auckland, and I need to finish that off, tidy it up, and then I can start assembling that engine. This one here is the engine for the Riley. I bought the engine stand for that, and that's bolted to that. It's sort of upside down at the moment. This was all fully assembled but never run as far as I can tell. Although, given the way it was assembled, it took me quite a while just to even get the sump gasket off. It's effectively been glued in place. And there's sort of silicone and stuff all over the place, so the whole engine needs stripping down, and I'll go through it and rebuild it. But apart from gaskets and things, I shouldn't need any new parts for that. Unfortunately, it is a bit seized up at the moment. I'm not sure why, so I've been soaking it to try and get it to turn over. Behind there, this was one of the toys I bought when I moved in. It's just some slip rollers for rolling curves into aluminium. I also bought shrinkers and stretchers. These I cut some steel at work, bolted it to the bottom so I can put those in the vise. And they're used for working with aluminium. So you can do things like that, bend a fold on the aluminium, and then you shrink along this edge and it pulls it into that curve. So that was straight when I started, and the shrinker makes it curved. This is another piece of aluminium I've been playing with on my English wheel. So that puts crown into panels, which is that shape you can see there. So that's quite a bit of shape in it. When I first got the wheel, the finish on it was very rough, and so I actually ended up polishing it. I mounted it in the lathe and then sanded it back very carefully to keep it flat and polished it, and that's why the surface finish you get on the aluminium tends to match the surface finish on your wheel, so it's come out really shiny. It's a nice finish. So there's no polishing or sanding or anything on that, that's how it came out. This stuff over here, this is for my mechanism to make the TV come out of the fireplace. Just a chain, some sprockets and a windscreen wiper motor. I have my little lathe there. I sort of made a backing board for it out of the packing case that the English wheel came in. I go right back here. So you can see the Austin's still, it's reassembled, but I need to start finishing that off. The steering box leaked oil, so I took it apart and redid the gasket on that. And that was one of the things that made me think it would be quite nice to have a little machine that I can cut my own gaskets on. So my bigger laser, when I build it, I'll build up a library of gasket shapes, and then I should be able to cut out any gaskets that I need for my old cars. If you have a look out there, you can see how the garden goes behind the house there. Very easy to look after garden, which I like. So just behind the MG there, this is the English wheel. When I want to do any work in here, I've got quite a bit of space, but if I need more, I actually take the MG, back it outside, and park it on one of my parking spaces in front of the house. So it gives me a lot of room. But you can see the wheel here, how I shined it up to make it smoother. And that's more or less it. I haven't had much chance to actually do anything in here yet. Just small projects, but work's been taking up so much time that I haven't really had a chance to do a lot. Hopefully that'll change. I'll get more time. These bar stools were quite good. I actually got those I got 3 of them for $5. One of them was broken, but the other 2 turned out to be fine. So that was a bit of a bargain really, and they sort of they suit the house. So that's really it.